Before I get into it, I just want to say that my story is different from the next nurse, doctor, medical professional you'll meet. Everybody that comes in and out of the healthcare system, they do it for their own reasons, whether that's making change or getting a better opportunity for themselves, trying to make a difference. Everybody sets their own path of how they're going to maneuver in this world of medicine. My story might not resonate with some of you, but it might also resonate with all of you. I just want to make it clear that my experiences that I've had and that I'm about to talk about might not be the same for if you ever go inside of the healthcare system. Before I start this off, I want to say what positions I've had and how long I've been in the healthcare system. I did hospice aid for 3 years. And then on the side, I was a patient transport for the local hospital. If you don't know what a hospice aid is the unit where patients that are on the last parts of their lives go for comfort, for care, to relax. If you don't know anything about hospice can be very sad. It can be very lonely, eye-awakening. And through that, I've met so many kind, beautiful people that have gave me different perspectives on lives, that has talked to me and made me laugh and have been extraordinary. So the bitter part about it is that you never knew when your patient was on their last moments. You never knew when your patient was just gonna not be there anymore. And for patient transport, the job entitles that you go from unit to unit, transporting patients, taking them to, appointments, taking them to units, providing them with blankets, whatever it is that you as a transporter needs to do. And all of this was great. I love the opportunity I had. I love the experiences that I had, but I really left the healthcare system because I don't know if it's because of the path I took or if it was just the healthcare system in general, but it got too sad. You know what I mean? It got to a point where even though I was in hospice, too many of my patients were just dying. Too many of them were just gone. It got to a point where I just felt sad all the time, where I didn't even want to build connections with these people because I knew later on down the line it wouldn't matter. When it came to transport, you see everything. You see the worst of the worst. And I want to make this clear, sometimes hospitals, they can be very much a beautiful thing. Whether that's a mother giving birth to her baby, or whether that's somebody beating cancer. There are great times you can experience in a hospital. It's not always bad, but working in the healthcare system, I realized there were more worse days than there were good. The reason I tell you this is because I remember before I even got into the positions that I ever got into, I would look at what the job entailed and think, oh, I could easily do this. And think, I'm perfect for the job. A lot of times when you watch TV shows like Grey's Anatomy, ER, The Good Doctor, whatever show it is out there, we watch these things and we think, oh, I could do that. I could see somebody get shot. I could see somebody have their head expanded 8 times its size and be okay. You know what I mean? I could pop a cyst, or I can help somebody with an injury. A lot of times we watch these shows and we get desensitized and thinking that if I came encounter with this in real life, I could do it. I could fix it. I could save somebody's life. We disassociate ourselves so much to the point where we know subconsciously we're watching fake blood. We're watching, actors act. We're watching fake scenes, made up scenarios. So because our brain knows it's fake, we can't have that connection like we should as human beings. And I remember first ever getting into this industry, I had many people tell me that it will make you cold. It will make you desensitize yourself to the things you'll see. You'll get to a point where you could have somebody come in with a gunshot and you wouldn't be affected. You will get to a point where you can see the worst of the worst of the worst and not feel a thing. And I remember thinking before I even got into all of this that I don't want to be desensitized. I want to look at every patient that walks in front of me, that sits in front of me, and I want to care for them, and I want to see them, and I want to help them. I don't want to just make my patients feel as if they're just an object I need to fix and then move on to the next one. And so as I worked my way up and worked my way through the medical field, it is nothing like what you see on TV. You have to realize there are nurses, there are doctors, there are many medical professionals, medical assistants, coders, people that train, people that go through colleges, 4-year colleges, 6-year colleges, 8-year colleges, working their lives off to be ready for what they'll see when they step into the ER or when they step into the hospital. Your whole time in education, you're preparing for your first patient. You're preparing for whoever will walk in front of you, and you take charge in saving them and helping them in whatever you do. But what people don't understand is this is a job that no matter how much you study for, no matter how many videos you watch, no matter how many episodes you think you can consume, nothing will prepare you for when you have your first patient or when you have that first case that just is so unbelievable that no matter how many pages you read at night, no matter how many books you went through or classes you took, there was nothing to prepare you. A lot of the people that get into the healthcare system, they get in there because they want to help people. You know what I mean? All I want to do is help somebody. I want to fix them when they're broken. I want to get them on their way. I want to make them feel good. I want to do whatever I need to do for me, for them. If you ask anybody that works, that's usually their answer. I want to help people. But I don't think what civilians or people that are trying to get into this field understand, it's always that one case that can break you or make you. No one, no matter how many times they tell you or talk to you, no one can prepare you for the sexual assault cases, for the domestic violence cases, for the attempted murder cases. No one can prepare you for the dead bodies that come in, for the kids that were hurt so badly. Nobody can prepare you for some of the things that you will see when you walk into a hospital. No one can prepare you for that. And no matter what I say right now, one thing that I know that keeps us as medical professionals bonded, connected, is that we all No matter what level, no matter how educated or what profession we're in, we're all bonded by the love of helping people, by the love of changing. We're all bonded by that one case that made us want to work harder to be greater as healthcare providers, that made us work harder to make a change. But for me, it got to the point where I got tired of meeting people at the worst times of their lives. A lot of people don't realize if you're in the hospital, it's because it's probably the worst day of your life. Whether that's because you got in a car accident, or because you got shot, or because of something else. And just seeing how lost and how painful, and then getting those cases where some patients had no family members and they were fighting for their lives, and then getting those patients where they had every single family member. I got tired of meeting people when they were down. And what a lot of you don't know is you will meet a lot of amazing people when it comes to the healthcare system, when it comes to patients. But sometimes I was meeting these people and I was thinking, what if we met in different circumstances? What if I met you at a cafe somewhere? Or what if I met you at a movie? Why do I have to meet you when you have a bullet hole in your stomach? Why do I have to meet you when your bone is sticking out of your skin? I got so tired of just being surrounded by scenarios where there was just no hope, where you're sitting there as a nurse, as an aide, as an assistant, trying your hardest to save somebody, trying your hardest to bring somebody back to life, and it's nothing. I got tired of hearing the beepings from the machines. I got tired of hearing people cold, people die, the tears, the screams. It was just so much. It was so painful. Just hearing the screams. It was so painful. And it really started to mess with me. It really started to mess with me so bad. So bad, because I just wanted to save everybody. I just wanted everyone to walk out that door. I wanted everyone to have a smile. I wanted everyone to have a family around them. And it was hard. And then COVID hit. And COVID hit bad. And it got to the point where protocol was where family couldn't show. And people were dying. Like just left and right. People were just dying. And it's like everything became bigger than us. Everything became bigger than the doctors. It became bigger than the nurses. Anybody that had a badge, it just was bigger than. It felt like we had control over nothing. And we were killing our bodies to save others. And we were fighting to get back home to our own families. It was just too much. And we tried so hard every day, every patient, every moment, risking our lives of getting sick, risking other patients, risking our families' lives of getting sick. It was like all the love and all the happiness that I've ever experienced working in the healthcare system just disappeared. It was like it started to suck the life out of me. And I was just like a vessel. Just a vessel going from each room to room to room, trying to make people comfortable, trying to make people happy, trying to make people smile. And it was nothing left. It was nothing left. And so one day, I got that one case that I just could not come back from. That no matter how hard I wanted to look forward, I wanted to continue going, I just couldn't. It was a kid, and his body just came in like just mutilated. Just you couldn't tell what was his face from what was his neck, from what was his chest. You couldn't tell if it was even human or not. And from the stress of the COVID patients and the stress of just everything, I broke down. I broke down. And I've never heard myself scream so loud. I just never seen something like that in my life. I had to let it go. I had to let the healthcare system go. I had to leave it behind me. It was nothing more I could have brung. There was nothing I could do. I had nothing left in me. And so now I'm kind of in the point of my life where I'm just trying to figure out where to go to next, who to help, how to fix things. The one thing the hospital has taught me is that is the place where you're going to see exactly what the world can do to a person. The hospital is a place where reality is, where trauma is, where pain is. The hospital is where all the skeletons and the demons lie. And I'm at a point in my life where I'm just tired of seeing the harm that can come to a human being. I'm tired of seeing the pain that can come to a human being. And that was my job every single day, was just picking up the scraps and trying to make something out of them. Trying to make something better, picking up people when they're on their last legs and fixing them. That was my job. And I just want to live the rest of my life figuring out something else. I don't want to see the bad that can come to somebody anymore. I don't want to see the pain that can come to somebody's family. I'm tired of seeing the wrongs of this lifetime, the wrongs of this world, of this society. I just want to have hope. I need to have hope that there's more than just people trying to kill each other. There's more than abuse, than violence, than rape, than snake bites and maggots and broken bones. I need to know there's more than that to this world. I can't let that system break me anymore. Make me feel less than what I know I can be. So I had to leave. I know there could be a life where there's family and there's smiles and there's happiness. And for every single patient I ever met, I know that I can meet them when they're going through the best of their lives and not the worst. I know I can have that opportunity where I can meet them at a cafe or at a park or at a beach and enjoy myself. I hate meeting people and constantly having to realize that I have to fix them, that I have to save them, that I'm the person that if I don't get this right, they could end up dead. I don't want to be that person anymore. It felt like I was playing Grim Reaper. And I don't want that responsibility of having a person's life in my hands ever again. I don't think I could take it anymore. Like I said, my story is different from the next person and the person after that. But just know, if you're going to ever get into the healthcare system, if you're ever going to go to school, if this is your calling, be kind, be careful, and understand that you can't help them all. You won't save them all, but you can do your best, and know that you're trying your best every day, I do think we need more people in the healthcare system. I do think we need more nurses and more doctors and more medical assistants and whatever it is that is called for. We definitely need more. But I also think with getting more people to fill these positions, they also need to know what they're walking into. They also need to know that this isn't Grey's Anatomy. This isn't The Good Doctor. Nobody's going to scream cut and the person is just going to magically heal and everything's going to be fine. No, this is life or death. These are people's lives in your hands and our hands every single day. We are the people that they come to when they don't have anybody else. These people's lives are no joke. It's not something to play around with. This is serious. You can't mess up. You can't forget. You can't freeze up. And that's the thing that plays with your psyche, is because you know if you just slip up even an inch, if you mess up even a second, that can determine whether or not that person gets better or not. I had no peace working in the healthcare system. I had no more love left in me. But I know there are strong, beautiful people out there that can do it. That can go in there and make true change and can bring love, light, and happiness to these patients that need it. I know that there are people out there that can handle more than what I can handle. I don't want to make it sound as if it was a scary place, as if it's a scary system. It's not. It's just, for me, I just couldn't do it anymore. It was just sad. It was just heartbreaking. But for the next person, you can find true friendship, true happiness, true passion in the places you go. You just have to make of it what you can. Do the best you can. And know that when you go home at the end of the day, you tried and you gave it your 100%. You gave it your all. The future of medicine is very much needed. The future of medicine will one day change. You just have to decide if you'll be there when it does.